What? You literally told me that you wanted to be single for a year, you weren't ready for a relationship, and if you were, it would be with me. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm back with episode number 2 of Fella Friday. Fella Friday is the series where each Friday I talk about a different type of fella or boy that I've encountered in my dating life. So today's episode is dedicated to the not ready for a relationship boy. So for the sake of the story, I'm going to give this boy a name. We're going to call him Andy. His real name obviously is not Andy, but I think it'll just be easier for me to explain. So me and Andy met in my first year of university. That is in the fall of 2016. And he asked me to grab drinks with him. So we did, and basically me and him had a click right from the start. So Andy, I'll give you a little bit of backstory. He was a part-time student and a DJ in Amsterdam, in like the Amsterdam club scene. He is very tall. He was like mixed race. He had really blue eyes, so I was immediately like extremely attracted to him. And on our first date, we hit it off like crazy. He was also extremely like flirty and forward. On our first date, he told me like, wow, we would have the most beautiful kids together because we both have really blue eyes. I feel like if someone would have said that to me now, I would have been like, stop being so creepy, it's our first date. But back then I was like extremely flattered. He was a little bit older as well. And he was very honest with me from the beginning, which I really appreciated. He told me that him and his girlfriend broke up about a month ago. They'd been together for 2 years, so he was still dealing with the like breakup sadness. So he asked me if I thought that that was okay, if I wanted to see him again, and I told him that I thought that was fine. You know, I wasn't really in the place to be in a relationship myself, so I was like, that's totally fine. You know, we're just gonna be casual. So we started hanging out a lot. He would stay over here. We would like watch TV shows together and have like our TV shows and our songs. I would make him breakfast. He would like bike with me to school or take the metro with me to school to spend more time with me. So we were like really together. And so everything was going great except for when I would go out with friends or go to parties. He would blow up my phone like crazy. He would be texting me like, oh, what are you doing there? Are you like getting with other guys? You're getting with other guys. I know you are. Stuff like that, which I want to say is like a definite warning sign, not for this just specific type of guy, but in general. If someone is like blowing up your phone like that, that's not healthy. And especially because we weren't together. He told me that he wasn't ready for a relationship. But about a month and a half in, I was like, look, I kind of want to define like what this is because you're texting me, asking me if I'm hooking up with other people, but you told me that like you wanted to be single for at least a year because you're still getting over your ex. So we sat down and we had a talk about this, and he was like, look, I'm really not ready to be in a relationship, but let's like not hook up with other people, let's not go on dates with other people, but if I'm DJing in a club, I can like kiss another girl and you can kiss other guys. So I don't necessarily think I was like happy with the arrangement, but I decided to go along with it because, you know, I really like this guy and I really wanted to keep seeing him. And I didn't have the self-confidence back then that I do now to really stand up for what I want in a relationship. So that was our deal. And yeah, so we were like really lovey-dovey. He would say stuff to me like, oh, I'm not ready for a relationship right now, Lois, but you know that if I was, you would be the only girl I want to date, and maybe next month I'll be ready, and like we're gonna have the most beautiful kids together, the most beautiful life together. You're gonna be a doctor and I'm gonna DJ for now and then be a stay-at-home dad with our kids, stuff like that, which I don't know. I was like super into this whole idea of this future with him, and like it was so romantic and this and that. So about I think 2 months into our relationship, or I guess not really relationship, but our fling, I could kind of feel that he was like pulling away. So I asked him like, look, things are kind of awkward between us now after we've had that talk about what we are. Like, what do you want? I just don't really understand. And he told me that he thought that we were getting too serious and that he really just was not ready for a relationship, and that he wishes that he was because he really wanted to be with me, but that it was probably better for us to just like not hang out again. He also didn't do this in the nicest way, I have to admit. He said something like, yeah, I thought maybe we can hang out again and try, but I thought, probably not. He like literally texted me that. So I was pretty devastated because I had imagined my whole future with these blue-eyed kids with him. And so I was like, okay, but we're relatively friendly. We still like followed each other on social media. And about 2 months in, I saw like this girl commenting on all of his posts and like him commenting back, hearts and stuff like that. So I was like, I know what time it is. It's time that you have a girlfriend. So I basically like texted him like, hey, look, I know it's none of my business. I know we're not together, but I just want to know, is she your girlfriend? And he was like, yeah, look, I didn't know how to tell you, but she's my girlfriend. What? You literally told me that you wanted to be single for a year, you weren't ready for a relationship, and if you were, it would be with me. Okay, I'm gonna sound like the crazy jealous girl here, and sure, I think at the time I was definitely jealous. I'm not jealous anymore, it's been 3 years, I'm over it, but it was just, I felt so manipulated by this guy because literally he had been talking to me the whole time about how he just wasn't ready, but he knew he wanted to be with me. He was ready for a relationship because 2 months later he jumped into a relationship. He just wasn't ready for a relationship with me. He just didn't want a relationship with me. And so that leads me to my advice for this type of boy. Might sound kind of harsh, but this is my opinion. If a guy or a girl or anyone for that matter tells you that they are not ready for a relationship with you, it means two things. The first thing it could mean is that you're either moving at different paces and one of you is either going to need to slow down or speed up. Or number two, he's just not that interested in having a relationship with you, but doesn't want to hurt your feelings. I got part of this from the book, He's Just Not That Into You. Great book. I know there's a movie as well, but the book is amazing. I would totally recommend anyone reads it, especially if you're in the dating world and don't know what the hell is going on, like me half the time. I'm sorry. And honestly, I wish I would have had the self-confidence back then that I do now because I would have told him what I wanted. And that's my advice here. If you are in this type of situation where someone does not know what they want and they're kind of stringing you along, say what you want. If you want a relationship, let that person know. And if they don't want it, get out. There's probably going to be hundreds of other people who do want to be with you. I just think and if you don't want a relationship, I mean, that's like the one thing here. I obviously don't wish this guy any ill will. I don't have any contact with him. I hope you're doing great if you ever see this. But I did feel really manipulated because he did, keep telling me that he did want to be with me and that he didn't want me to be with other people and that he wanted kids with me. If you know that you don't want a relationship with someone or a future with someone, don't say stuff like that. Just say, I don't want a relationship, period. If I would have known that from the beginning, I don't think I would have gotten my hopes up as much and I would have decided for myself, okay, do I want to keep going casually with this guy or do I want a relationship with this guy and he doesn't want that with me, so I'm going to get out so I don't get heartbroken. So yeah, I think it's just, I think it's just so important to be clear in relationships. Like, be clear about what you want, if you want a relationship, if you don't want a relationship. Sure, I think there are times where you hear about the fact that people were hooking up for 8 months and then suddenly someone changed their mind, they were in a relationship. I think that's the exception. I think in general, if someone after a couple months tells you that they're still not ready, it just means that they don't want a relationship. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. I hope this helps someone in this situation. I hope if you're the type of person who's like, I'm not ready for a relationship, you've kind of figured out what you want and don't string people along because it does suck. I have to admit, it does really, really suck. I hope you guys like this Fella Friday. Next Friday, there will be another one with me telling way too much details about my personal dating life. But make sure to leave a comment down below what you thought. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!